back at Menards because I forgot one pack of washers. Oh, back to the bus. Alright, so I've been getting some questions on what kind of bolts and washers and all that stuff I'm using to fasten the old hat channel to the new hat channel. First of all, I just want to say I'm using a structural adhesive in between here with some flex. We wanted to make sure there was some flex in the adhesive, you know, just for the moving parts and whatnot. And then the original bolts, nuts, and washers are zinc, so they weren't very strong. So I just came back through, and in between the zinc ones, I'm actually putting in stainless steel hardware. So these are stainless steel bolts, I'm using stainless steel washers, and I'm using stainless steel nuts, and I'm using stainless steel lock washers. So the first washer that I'm using here, I'll show you. So yeah, I'm just using 3/4 inch long bolts that are a 1/4 inch thick, and then I'm just using these normal flat washers, stainless steel. I'm just using those, and then I am backing it with a stainless steel lock washer. So that will go on there, and then I'm also using lock nuts with nylon in them. These stainless steel bolts are just precautionary. I just didn't know how well these zinc ones were going to do by themselves. So that's why I just wanted to be as safe as I could be, at least. Anyways, I'm just throwing them on there. Tighten down into place. And then getting them fairly tight like that. So this should be good enough. The reason that we did this without welds is because I talked to a welding teacher. He's also an auto body teacher. He recommended that I do not weld for this application because the original hat channel is all one piece coming through here. Now that we chopped it in half, putting welds through here, this structure wasn't meant to have welds through. That's just what he told me. I'm not positive. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people that say different things about it. But anyways, he assured me this really strong industrial strength adhesive was going to work perfectly for this application. He said that it's a perfect amount of flex, and just by using bolts, nuts, and washers, he said you were going to get plenty of strength all the way through these 26 hat channels that we cut and put new hat channel on. So yeah, that's it. Realized today that I made a pretty major mistake with the rivets that we need for our bus. You know, we have a 1996 International Amtran, and so when I ordered rivets, the math that I did was 14 gauge, which is the hat channel, a 14 gauge piece on top of a 14 gauge piece, which is the old hat channel, and then on top of a 18 gauge piece. And the math made sense to get rivets that could rivet up to a 1/4 inch. And I paid a bunch of money for stainless steel rivets. I made sure to get wide flange rivets. If you can see the difference here, look at the flange right here on it. It's not very big in comparison to this 3/16 inch rivet with the wide flange. So if you can just see the difference there. And the reason I got the wide flange rivet is because where these rivets were put in, they were pretty well dented and stuff, and I wanted to make sure to get wide flanges so it covered that dented area. We're using adhesive, and I planned on that adhesive filling in those little crater spots, and then this covering all of the crater spot, and the adhesive kind of plugged the hole, and you couldn't see that it was very dented around there. So that was the point of me getting these. I spent a ton of money on these 3/16 inch rivets, and they're supposed to grip. They call it grip, which is what it can grip, what it can pinch. So the grip range on these ones are 0.125 to 0.25. So 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch. When I was doing the math, I was only taking into account the hat channel area. and I did not think about this area up here, and I just measured it out, and the range that we need for grip is significantly more than what these will grip. So I just counted on the top here alone, all the way down here, and there's about 300 that I have to do, and that's just on one side. So the two sides together is about 600. To make all this even crappier is that the company that made our custom hat channel for us, they didn't make it so it was a perfect fit. So I didn't realize it till we were like a few into doing this. We had already cut all the pieces up they gave us and all this stuff and got it all ready. So the flange on the old hat channel does not sit flush with the flange on the new hat channel, which means that there's a gap in between there. And now the rivets will not work there either. Some of these it would work because some of them do flush up a little bit better. I mean, I've definitely learned my lesson here, and you definitely need to cross your I's and dot your T's when it comes to material that you need for this. Because if you're buying the best material you can, which is what we were trying to do, and that's why I went with stainless steel, make sure that you are measuring everything to a T all the time, everywhere in your bus. Stainless steel is superior to steel, and that's why the price is superior to steel too. Because it's ridiculously more expensive to get stainless steel than steel. So anyways, definitely do your research. I'm not like an absolute expert. I'm just learning all this stuff as I go, and just take my mistake and learn from it before you end up spending a lot of extra money that you don't need to. That's my tip for the day. Go get 'em! Well, that's it for today, guys. It's just too much standing around, too much wind, and now I'm frozen to the core, to the bone. Just trying to figure out all these rivets. It is such a nightmare. Do your homework, people. Do not make the same mistake I did. I got a F. So anyways, if you like the information we're giving you guys, we're doing the best we can to give you guys all the information that we are learning ahead of time, so you don't have to make the same mistakes we do. If you want to see more of that, go ahead and subscribe, of course, and like the video, share it around if you want to. We do appreciate it. Until next time, we'll see you guys later. Bye. The day's not a complete wash. I get to go eat lunch with this baby. Yum yums.
I'm not sure why Ivy thought it would be a smart idea to make this row of spots like this way. Why would they do that? People are pulling in from that way. It's just like the dumbest design.
We should get into the restaurant parking lot design business. Yes, please. That's a bad voice. You asked for it and we're giving it to you, folks. Pictures of food. Dinner was a total success. We ate it.
It was delicious.
You ruined it!
What were you